Nigerians at home and in diaspora have begun signing a petition calling on the government of Finland and the European Union and Nigeria to arrest Nnamdi Kanu's self-acclaimed disciple, Simon Ekpa. The petition is hinged on the sit-at-home order issued by Ekpa to residents of the southeast. The call has resulted in attacks and killings of innocent Nigerians by hoodlums trying to enforce it. Ekpa, also known as Ifeanyi Njoku, in a viral video from Finland, directed people of the southeast to observe a sit-at-home from the 9th to the 14th of December. Meanwhile, IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful countered the order and directed Kanu's group members and residents of the region to boycott it and go about their business. Prof, let me start with you. Since this issue of the Biafra agitation, we've seen too many, will I say, variants of this followers or of these agitations. But how did we get to this point? Let's start with that.
Well, let me first say that the people who will not withdraw my PhD, I'm not yet a professor. But how did we get to where we are? Nigeria is a fraudulent arrangement. In 1959 general election, the number of the electorate voters in the South was 4,600, about 4.6 million voters. And they delivered 73 plus 83. That's 154 voters, members of the House of Rep. Whereas the North had 1.92 million voters and delivered 134 members of the House of Representatives. You know what I'm saying? 2.6 million voters delivered 81 members of the House of Rep. 1.99 million delivered 73 members of the House of Representatives. 1.92 million, the lowest, delivered 134. And we say we are running a democracy. So we have skewed our system from the beginning. But I will take you back to 1922 when Lord Lugard wrote a book called The Dual Mandate. He wrote clearly in that book that whenever the British will be leaving this country, they should hand over to an ethnic group in this country. I don't want to mention them, but I'm sure you probably have an idea what group I'm talking about. Should be handed over to them. And this was what happened. Then in April 1961, when there was a plebiscite or a referendum, Northern Cameroon was to decide whether to be part of Nigeria or to go away. They decided to be part of Nigeria and added more to the skewing of the majority in the House of Representatives for a particular region of the North. The South were not so savvy, they allowed Southern Cameroon to go. Now, if democracy is about numbers, I would have thought that those two parties in the South that delivered 4.6 million electorate should have formed the majority. But it appears that what we were doing is the region with the largest territory was going to form the government. That was what they used. So what I'm trying to say is that we have had a skewing of the system of this country from the beginning. And it's a fraudulent and unfair system. If you look at Section 2 of Nigeria Constitution, it talks about maintaining the integrity of the state. It doesn't talk about the interest of the people of Nigeria. And then Chapter 2 of Nigeria Constitution, economic, social, political, diplomatic, and so on,
So how
Even
does this,
what talks about,
interrupt you, how does this all relate to?
that's where I'm going, that we are having a system that is unfair and it does not deliver the best to everybody. Democracy is supposed to give the greatest good to the greatest number. It is the reverse that we have in this system.
Mr. Adekunle, what do you make of these agitations we've experienced over time, and how valid are their concerns?
I think I've said it, and I'm going to say it again. This problem in Igbo land is a creation of the federal government of Nigeria. In fact, the sitting government didn't meet Igbo land in chaos that it is today, because certain actions bring about certain reactions. The government of Nigeria failed woefully in the way it handled Nnamdi Kanu's, matter. At the time we were talking about it then, that the government false approach will not work, that it will bring about something else that will be counterproductive to the interest of Nigeria. And that's what has happened. You see, when people feel marginalized, when there is, whether it is true or not, when there is perceived injustice, unfairness, and all those things, there are ways, governments go about it, especially when there is sincerity. Have we seen any positive or genuine effort towards solving the problems? I have not seen any. Look at the Southeast today. It is destroyed. The economy of that region is destroyed. And we are not talking about small economy. I know Igbo land very well. Industrious, enterprising, very great people. But because of those mere agitations, that are not even new. There was Masob and Wazurike, all those. They were not a threat to Nigeria. They were not a threat to Igbo land. They were not a threat to the economy. They were not a threat to anybody. And because somebody is asking for, hey, we want to do Biafra, hey, we want to do whatever, it's not a crime as long as they are not, going about it in a very criminal way.
So what would you propose the government should, adopt a solution to address this issue?
In this case, even the media is culpable. I look at it. Look at the way the media has been reporting it. How many people have signed the so-called petition and the whole media is, agog with that? So, come on, what's wrong? It is our country. Without a Nigeria, there is nobody. Whether the media, there won't be anything. 2,000 people, even 2 million people signed the petition about what? These are people that we should ignore. This government made Nnamdi Kanu who he is today. Some inconsequential person, because suddenly it becomes important. So we are about to go the Nnamdi Kanu, journey, making somebody who is unimportant to become important. What's the point? We can disregard him, penetrate the media, tap, play down these kind of things, and let's move. Our country should matter to us, not divisive elements who want to, benefit from the problems, we have.
All right. Mr. Aleko, if we're to look at this issue from your own end, what is the possibility of a confederation state? Do you think perhaps, that could be a solution for a diverse country like Nigeria, as we've seen in other countries around the world?
Esther, I don't even think I want to answer that question. My point is this. Those who say that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable are forcing their opinion on us, and that is wrong. We must sit down and discuss where we want to go.
Right.
Whether we want to remain a unitary state as they have created, or we want to be a federal state or we want to be a confederal system. There must be room for discussion, for negotiation. There's no room for some people keep saying that the unity of Nigeria. Who says that Nigeria's unity cannot be discussed? It must be discussed. So we have had how many constitutional conferences now? The last one we had was 2014. And a president says openly that he's going to gather dust on the shelf. What does that tell you? It means that there's going to be impunity and people are going to be insisting on enforcing their preferences over, well, now they say we are 216 million, over 200 to 260 million people. So few people, who are the people running this country? There are less than 1,000 people, 774 local government chairmen, 36 governors, and 1 president. Those are the people running this country. And they say that Nigeria cannot be negotiated. Who says? So we need to, let's get ourselves together. That document that they have put there, on that President Buhari says will gather dust, they should pull it out. Now that he's leaving, I think it can even just be patriotic. And let's discuss this thing and let him be a parting gift for all of us. Right.
Dekule, final thoughts on this?
Final thoughts, we should just try not to create another Nnamdi Kanu in this Simon Ekpa or whatever the name is. We should not go the way we treated Kanu, making an inconsequential, human beings to become a global, that's just my. You don't need to.